to this race vlog. Today is Saturday. I am doing my final taper run, just 30 minutes easy before the race tomorrow, which is the ASICS London 10k. So I have taken it easy this week. I would say I have tapered for this race. I actually filmed my training this whole week, but don't think there's enough content for a video in itself, so I'm just gonna make a little YouTube short of my taper week up until today. Here's the race number for tomorrow. I'm in the second wave, so I should start my race a little after 9:30 a.m. once the first wave has completely set off. But now I've got to be in my starting pen by 9 a.m. apparently, so that's potentially over half an hour of being stood up in the pen, probably not being able to move much, just waiting around, because I feel like people are going to start lining up in their pens as early as they can, and then we're all going to be waiting around, and then if I turn up a little bit too late I might be too far back. So yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about that, but at least let me tell you, I will not be cold tomorrow whilst I wait to start, because it is going to be pretty warm. So let me pull up the weather forecast for tomorrow. So that's tomorrow morning. It's cloudy. Thankfully for now they say that it shouldn't be raining, but yeah, it's going to be around 18-19 degrees. As mentioned in my running goal update video from a couple of weeks ago, my updated goal for the 10k for the rest of the year is to hopefully try and run a sub 41 minute 10k. I'll give it my best shot tomorrow, because I don't know how many more 10ks I'm going to be racing this year, so every opportunity I get to try, I will try to get my sub 41, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to pan out tomorrow, because the course I don't think is the most PB friendly. I'll put the course map on the screen, and as you can see, there's a lot of turns. I think too many turns for it to be a really fast 10k. And then also, weirdly, my legs didn't feel great this morning, didn't feel their best. So we'll see. I'll give it my best shot, and yeah, we'll see what happens. The ASICS London 10k. I could race in my ASICS Metaspeed Sky to stay on brand, but I bet you didn't see this coming. I am gonna race in my On Cloud Boom Eco 3, which I have been raving about for the past 5 or 6 weeks at this point. And by the way, they have officially been released now. So yeah, I think they're just gonna be the best bet for tomorrow. Morning, it is now race day. We're going to set off in about 10 minutes. Ben is racing as well today, but he still needs to collect his race number at the race village this morning. Otherwise, it does look like we're going to have some rain, which means that I can't take my Insta360 with the case, because the case is not waterproof. So I'm going to have to use it without the case and put it in one of these little things. I'm a little anxious about that, because the last time I did that was at the Seville half marathon, and the camera managed to unclip whilst I was racing, and I lost my camera. So yeah, I'm a little anxious about filming today, but I'm gonna do my best, and hopefully I get some race footage for you guys. And if I don't lose the camera, then happy days.
For the rest of us, it's still a pretty...
Guys, I am so sorry I don't have any race footage of the end of the race and crossing the finish line. At the last kilometer, my camera started acting up. It kept vibrating. That was really weird. I couldn't tell if it was recording anything, so I was still filming, but I had no idea whether or not it was recording, and turns out it wasn't. I really wanted to record the finish line because the final 400 meters were amazing. The crowds, the atmosphere, and I was so happy with my race, and I really wanted to have memories of this and to capture this, and I've got absolutely nothing. But anyway, let's do a quick race recap. So it was really nice to see a lot of familiar faces yesterday, people I follow on Instagram, people I watch on YouTube. During my warm-up, I bumped into Donato. If you watch running videos, you're probably already familiar with his YouTube channel. So yeah, overall this event was just great vibes. Now, as I expected, people started to walk to their pens very early. Basically, I needed apparently to be at my pen by 9 for a start at 9:30-ish a.m. So I left it as late as I could because I wanted my warm-up to be as close as possible to my race start. So I finished warming up and then I entered my pen probably at like 8:55. From then on it was just standing up, waiting around. There was no space to, move, do strides or anything like that. Overall, the event was great. The vibes, running in London, in those streets, the volunteers, everything. But to me, the one downside of this event was to have to be in those pens so early. Obviously, from an events organizer perspective, they probably had logistics challenges and that's why they did it this way. But from a runner's perspective, it's not ideal. But anyway, so at 9:30, the first wave where Ben was set off, and then shortly after, the second wave where I was followed. The first kilometer, my legs didn't feel that great, and I thought to myself, Chloe, this might not be your day. But at the same time, I've had races in the past where I don't feel great when I start, and then I feel better as I go, and I finish really strong. So I didn't want to let myself feel defeated so early on, and I didn't want to start having those negative thoughts. I basically just focused on running and take it 1 kilometer at a time. And I did start to feel better. When I got to the halfway mark, I was running much more smoothly and I felt better at kilometer 5 than at kilometer 1. I thought I had a shot at a PB. I wasn't quite sure about the sub 41. I couldn't trust my watch because my GPS was all over the shop. Basically, my watch was clocking each kilometer for the official kilometer sign. So I knew I couldn't really trust it, but I could tell I was running well. I just didn't know how well. Overall, this course wasn't pan flat all the way. There were a few inclines, a few downhill sections, there were also quite a lot of tight turns and some narrow sections, but still a very enjoyable course. We got to see quite a few London landmarks. As you can see in the race footage, it wasn't extremely congested, but it was still busy enough for me to be always running more or less with people, and I think that definitely played a part to help me just keep pushing and get the result I got. So I was shooting for a sub 41 minute 10k, but in my head I was thinking, like a 40, 50 something. Turns out I crossed the finish line in 40 minutes and 18 seconds. I was absolutely buzzing when I got confirmation of the official results. It is a new 10k PB by well over a minute, and it was so unexpected to get so close to the 40 minute 10k mark. I am now closer to 40 minutes than I am to 41 minutes, which is crazy. And I paced it quite well, despite the fact that I couldn't really rely on my watch. I managed to do a negative split. I finished really strong, and I'm just, super happy with how the race went. And then I found Ben at the finish line. He was waiting for me. Unfortunately, he didn't have an amazing race for what he's capable of, but still with a bad race. He finished in 15th position in a time of 32 minutes and 40 seconds. So imagine if this is a bad day. Huge congrats to everyone who raced yesterday. I think everyone enjoyed the event. It was just great vibes all around. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!